Coronation, it's Rick down in Charlotte. Hey, this is a special video that I'm going to need you to watch 5 times. This is the new core presentation that we do with all my clients. For years, I taught 4 things, and I'm going to do them in a video today. A triangle for trust, a wealth accumulator, the return on investment, and the difference between the mortgage payments. These are things that I feel right now the realtors and lenders have to be doing. I was last week at a big national mortgage event, about 1,500 people. I taught these 2 presentations. They loved it. I've been teaching my members it all week. I got a site visit tonight. I got about 7 members, a couple realtors, 5 lenders will be here all night. I did it at lunch. They loved it. They couldn't take notes faster. So I'm going to do it with Vanessa, who runs my money. She's going to be the client. Now, she's a homeowner. They live in a nice $350,000 home. We'll talk about her moving up to the next home. That's what we'll be talking about. And we'll go through her calling in. I'll do the role play as a triangle. I'll do the wealth accumulator. I'll do the ROI on buying a house. How's the return on investment? I'll do the difference in the payment between 3% and 6.5%, and I'll do a close. So I'll do these 4 points. I want you to watch this video 4 or 5 times. I want this to be the mandatory level 1, level 2, level 3 presentation. So we're ready to go. We're going to do the presentation. So Vanessa is a client calling me, referred from a realtor. Hello, this is Rick.
Hey Rick, I got your number from Phil Puma. He told me to call you. My husband and I are interested in upgrading our home.
Cool. How do you know Phil?
I've worked with him in the past. We bought our first house with him.
Oh, you did? How was the experience with him?
Amazing.
Just so you know, I bought 2 houses with Phil, and it is way better than everybody else. Yes. Have you ever bought with a different realtor?
I have.
So you used a different realtor. What was the difference?
Night and day.
I'm telling you, we feel the same way. We just closing on a property next week with Phil. His thoroughness, follow-up, and I will tell you his specialty, he's a great negotiator. So the good thing that you had Phil is he's going to get you a great deal on a house. Now, I'd like to walk you through the process for a couple minutes to get you started, okay? Because buying a home is the largest investment in your life. Do you think of this as a home or your investment?
I would say I think of it as a home.
Great. A lot of people think of it as a home, but just so you know, your house is the largest investment you ever make in your life. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Did you make money on the last house?
We did.
What'd you pay for it?
We paid $165.
And what's it worth now?
We sold it for $250.
$250. So $165 to $250. So you made 90 grand on a $165 house. Made a lot of money. How much money did you put down?
3%.
So you put 3% down. So you put down $4,500 and turned it into a 90, right?
Yes.
So what's the return on investment? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because you didn't invest $165. You invested $9,000.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we're going to talk about this. First thing I want to do is I want to talk about your wealth. So I believe in this form right here, the wealth accumulator. And I'm going to teach you guys how to get wealthy. Now, with your regular jobs, did you ever think that you would get wealthy?
No.
I'm going to show you how to. $1 million in the bank. Would you like to have $1 million someday?
Absolutely.
Cool. So it's going to start with you buying real estate and every 3 to 5 years moving up. You make more money, you buy more house. As you can see, I want you to own 3 times what you make in a house. So you and your husband make how much?
Combined 140.
So 140 grand, so we can afford a $450,000 mortgage all day long. Plus your down payment to have the house, and down payments range between 3 and 20%, okay? So we're gonna take some of the equity out of the house, we're gonna put it into the new house, we might even invest some of that equity. We'll look at those options, okay? So we wanna buy a house 3 times what we make. Does 450 seem like a fair amount for you?
Yes.
Cool. Does 3 to 20% down seem like an easy down payment?
Yes.
Cool. Now, second thing we want to have is reserves, 10 to 25 grand. What happens if you don't have reserves?
You are in a bind.
You're going to have debt. Do you agree?
Yes.
And debt is the opposite of wealth. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So we must have reserves. Do you know that 80% of people buy a house don't have reserves? Did you have reserves when you bought your first house?
Very little.
Did you get some debt?
A little bit when we first moved.
Cool. So listen, without reserves, there's going to be debt. Third, we got to max our 401k because it's pre-tax dollars. What does pre-tax dollars mean?
You tell me.
It means you're not paying tax on that money. So 100% of that money goes into the bank. Where with regular investing, you paid 35% taxes, then you put it in the bank. So with the 401k, 100% goes in with no taxes taken out. So it's like getting an instant raise, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then fourth, we got to be in the stock market. Who's Warren Buffett?
Old rich guy.
Old rich guy, one of the richest men in the world, most famous investor, right?
Yes.
He says you got to buy the S&P 500. When you buy the S&P 500, you're getting 500 stocks every day, whether they go up or down. Is that diversification?
Yeah,
Is that safer than buying one stock?
sounds like it.
Cool. So he likes the S&P 500. So we're going to buy a house all the time. We're going to have reserves. We're going to have 401k, and we're going to have stocks. Cool?
Yes,
Now, because we talked about this as a return on investment, correct?
yes.
Let's say you put 20% down. Okay? That would be the max down payment I would want you to put down, 20%.
Okay.
So, whether we buy a house for 500 or 700 or 600, we're going to put 20% down. Got it? Houses go up an average of 3 to 5% a year. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Last year they went up 18%, which was unbelievable, but that in a couple of years they've gone down. 08 they went down, but on the average 3 to 5%. So if we take a 3% average appreciation, which is on the low side, correct?
Okay.
Over 3 years, what would the house go up? 3% times 3 years would be what? 9%.
Wow.
Do you understand? It goes up 3% a year?
Yes.
Times 3 years would be what?
9%.
9%. And you put down how much? 20%. So what's the return on investment? If you went up 9% and you put in 20%, what percent is 9 of 20? Almost half.
Yeah.
It's almost half. You agree?
Yeah.
So you almost make a 50% return. Now that was over 3 years, correct?
Yes.
If we annualize that, divided by 3, means you made 15% a year on your investment. Do you agree?
Yes.
Is that a lot?
Yes.
Is that fabulous?
Yes.
What do rich people want to make a year? 7% a year. That's what I want to make as an investor. So you're making 15% on a house. Why is real estate so great?
Make a lot of money.
It's a leveraged investment. You bought a house for 500, but you only invested 100,000. And it went up 9%, so it went up 45,000. You see how this works?
Yes.
How would we increase the return on investment?
On the house?
Yeah, how would we make it a better return on investment? Well, what if we put 10% down and it went up 9%? What would be the return? Be almost 100%,
Yeah,
wouldn't
it would be
it? So we actually want to put less down, don't we?
Yes, we
And
do.
where would we want to put the rest of that money? In the stock market growing, and the house is growing. So that's the return on investment of a house. So that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, rates have gone from 3 to 6.5 as you've started looking, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a lot. Now, did you know on $1 million mortgage, that's $1,000 increase a month? Is that a lot?
Yeah.
You think $1,000 on $1 million mortgage on $1 million house is a lot?
Yes.
No, it is not a lot.
To me.
It's not a lot. But listen, on a $500,000 house, which you're looking at, your payment has gone up $500 a month from the 3% to 6.5. It feels like it should have doubled, shouldn't it?
Right.
But it only went up $500 on $500,000.
Okay.
Is that still something you can handle?
Yes.
Great. I want to be your lender. Can you come in and let me go through all this with you again and be your lender?
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a nice day. So listen, guys, we did a triangle for trust. We did a wealth accumulator. We did the return on investment. Number 4, we showed them the increase in mortgage payment on $1 million mortgage from 3 to 6.5%, and then we closed with a mirroring bobbing of our head. Now this was on the phone. This presentation took how long? 6 minutes. You could do this on the phone to lock up your pre-app. You could do it when you're sitting with the client for the pre-app. Now, Melody, you're young. You want to be a homeowner.
Yes.
Did you just learn something?
Yes. I
Would
did.
you get a mortgage from me?
Yes.
Yes. Vanessa, you are a homeowner. Second time already. Thinking about moving up. Would you deal with me?
Absolutely.
Why?
You showed me more than just about what my mortgage was about.
Cool. So I want you all to watch this video multiple times. I want you to work on your triangle for trust. I want you to work on your wealth accumulator. I want you to work on your ROI. That's showing the client puts down 20%. The house goes up 3% a year over 3 years. It's 9%. That's almost a 50% return. Divided by the 3 years it took, it's almost a 15% annual. If you put less down, it makes a bigger return on investment. And then show them that on $1 million mortgage, from 3% to 6.5% is $1,000 increase a month. And then close. That's my focal point. I want you to review this video several times. Have a great day. Rick Ruby out.